Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we'll be going over the Faro Shuffle. So the Faro Shuffle, in case you don't know, is just an easy way to get cards shuffled in sort of an every other sort of manner. So you just take the cards, you kind of push them together, and they end up kind of like that. And from there, you can really do anything you want. And that's the cool thing about it, is it opens up a lot of different moves in cardistry and in Magic. So I think it's quite a foundational move and should be learned well. I know I did like a tutorial for Bloom a while back, so I thought I might as well teach the Faro Shuffle, just because it's sort of a weird, not exactly a knacky move, but it's one of those moves where you have to kind of get just a general feel for how to do it, and it just either works really well or it doesn't. So I thought I might give some tips on how I do it, and hopefully they help you out. So without further ado, grab yourselves a deck of cards and let's hop right into the tutorial. Alright, so first things first, the Faro Shuffle generally looks like this. You break the deck in half and you push it together, and the cards should shuffle pretty evenly, and from here you can do whatever you want. I like to do Bloom just because it shows just, you know, how well the cards shuffle. And yeah, so first things first, grab your deck of cards, and you're gonna wanna figure out whether it's conventionally cut or unconventionally cut. And what that means is which side the Faro starts from. Because generally what's happening is the cards are sliding in together, right? And they're doing that. And if it's conventionally cut, they'll go from the face side to this side. But if they're cut the opposite way, they'll go the other way. It just kind of has to do with the way the cards are cut and the angles and all that. So probably the best way to figure this out is to start learning how to Faro Shuffle, and then just trying it one way, and if it doesn't go well, flipping the deck around and trying it the other way. And whichever way is easier is the way the cards are cut. Some decks like this one go really well both ways. Some decks are just super hard to Faro Shuffle. So try using a USPCC deck. Those will Faro normally really well, at least one direction. So I'm going to try to get a little more of a close-up angle. So break the deck in half. And that just, you know, comes with practice, but eventually you should be able to get pretty close to 26 and 26 cards. And some people Faro Shuffle this way, so they take the cards like this and they Faro from the back, and they kind of like do a tilt and then do that. But I like to do it this way. It's not as common, but I feel like it gives more control and it works better for me. So what you're gonna wanna do is you'll take the packet in your left hand and you hold it in a straddle grip, all right? And if it's conventionally cut, hold it with the face up, and vice versa if it's the other way. And then for this side, you're gonna wanna hold it in this sort of grip. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. Index on the back, these fingers here, your pinky there, thumb on the back. I'll give you a second just to take a look at that. So when you hold the cards like this, they should line up in the same direction, right? Faces here, backs there. Now you're gonna put the long edge here against this index finger, and the general motion is you're gonna rock it back, right? So you're taking the packet that you have and you're just going to rock it back this way into the other packet, and if done right, it should shuffle together. Now, the key component of the Faro Shuffle is, of course, getting the cards to slide together nicely. So how that's gonna work is if you take the cards, right, and you match them on the edge, you're gonna angle it a little bit. So just like that, you're gonna angle it a little bit and you're going to push it together, and the cards should fan out like that. Take your packet and you're gonna rest it, and this allows you to be a bit more precise with it. And what you wanna do is you wanna line up the two inside corners, just like that. And you want to press them together, sort of at an angle. So if you look at the cards, they are beveled nicely, just like that. Then you're gonna slowly press, right? So it'll bend and slowly slide down. And the deck here should be bending outwards. If you can see that bend, it should bend outwards. Now normally I don't press this hard, but it should bend outwards and the card should slowly slide together. And depending which way you do it, it might be slightly different. But generally, again, you take it, you bevel it outwards a bit, line up the two edges, and press a little bit. And just like that, the first bit should begin. And once that has started, you can press in like this and move it slightly, and the card should fall into place. It's super cool when you first get it. Some tips is, if you're doing this, don't just use the corners. Like, it's easy just to use the corners and press it together like that, but over time it kind of damages the corner of the cards. So if you do this and you press in a bit, once you get the first bit, try to flatten out the angle so you're using like the whole side of the card, and then you can slide it a bit up on that edge. And then you really just want to practice it. So again, you start it from here, you do this, and it's not a matter of force, it's just a matter of angling and kind of how you do it. If you get that one card in the corner, if you get that one card, camera angles, if you get that one card under it, right there, under that corner, not sure if you can see that, there. If you get that one card in there, then you can slightly pull down and that'll just kind of cascade into all the rest of the cards in the deck. So you take it, pop one in the corner, and then from here you just kind of do a rubbing sort of motion. If you press too hard, the angle will go off, but if you don't press enough, they won't go together. So again, it's kind of hard to explain, but I'd say the easiest way to do it is just to learn to get the first bit, just like that. And then from there, just practicing how hard to push, just to get the rest of the deck to go together nicely. And it will depend on the deck of cards too. So if you go out and get, say, a new deck of bikes, they'll generally faro pretty well in one direction, whichever way they're cut. And yeah, I'd say one of the things that you want to focus on the most is when you're doing this and you line up the two edges of the cards, you want the edges to be pretty much flat. Like, you don't want, say, one side to look kind of like this, because if you do this, if you look at that, that's not going to work out very well. You need both sides flat. Another reason I like having my index finger here is because if I press on both sides, generally it'll come out decently flat, just like that. Then when you line the two edges up, they'll come out flat like that. Then I'll angle it and then I'll slide and the cards faro just like that. Yeah, so again, it's a move that's really hard to explain in detail. Like with, you know, packet cuts and stuff, it's easy because it's like either your fingers are there and moving or they're not. But with this, it's sort of a thing where like you have to get the angles in that just right, and the cards will kind of decide whether or not they want to slide together or not. So it can be a bit of a nuisance to learn when you're first starting. But in general, I'd say, yeah, the two things that you need to pay attention to the most is the angle. I see a lot of people trying to do this and their cards aren't flat on the edges. Like, they'll have some cards going up and it'll be kind of slanted, and they'll be doing this and trying to like push them together. It has to be flat generally on both edges, and then if you place them together and it's just the flat edge on the flat edge and it's really nicely that way, then if you tilt it and you slide like that, that's really all that there is to it, plus a bunch of practice, as you know, goes with any cardistry move. Now, other things about the Faro shuffle are there are two general types, an in Faro and an out Faro. And the difference is when you start with the deck, there is a card on top say 9 diamonds, and a card on bottom, say ace of clubs. An out faro is when you take the cards like this, and the 9 of diamonds stays on top, and the ace of clubs, stays on the bottom. As you can see, my faro shuffling is not perfect all the time, but 9 diamonds stays on top, and ace of clubs stays on the bottom, so the cards go together that way. In faro means the 9 of diamonds goes down below the first card, and the ace of clubs goes below the last card. So it's there, ace of clubs, 9 diamonds, and it goes in that way. And the main differentiation between those two faro shuffles is that it allows you to manipulate where cards are and the general order of the deck. I don't know if you need to know that, but there's that in Magic. And for cardistry, it's just a practical aspect. So say if I'm gonna do Bloom, and I like it this way so that with the extra card on this side so my knuckle can go against it, in that case I'll normally do an in faro, right? So the last card will end up on this side, and when I push it in like this, I can go straight into it like this without having an extra card here falling off. And then I can just go right into Bloom, and it looks nice. So yeah, those are my tips on the faro shuffle. Again, it's not that much I can like add in terms of generally the same principles apply, and it's really just a matter of practice and getting a feel for it, and just having patience and realizing, you know, sometimes it actually is the cards. Like faro shuffle is probably one of those moves where you can actually blame the cards, and it's not an excuse, it's a legitimate reason. So yeah, if you grab a deck of bikes, it'll be fine. But again, slightly newer decks normally do it better. There shouldn't be like a pop when you do it. Like, it should feel smooth, meaning if you're pressing like this and there's a sudden like crack and the cards go in, it means you're probably faroing the cards on the wrong side. Flip the deck over, just generally speaking. All right, so that's probably about all the tips I have for the faro shuffle. If you enjoy watching my videos and you haven't already, please consider subscribing right down below. And leave your comments down below. I know a bunch of moves based off the faro shuffle, so like the giant fan, I already taught Bloom, or like Friffle, water bend, whatever you call it. So I know a bunch of moves based off the faro shuffle. If you guys want me to teach those, leave them down in the comment section below. I'll skim on through. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, I'll leave my Insta in the description box. I just post some, fun snippets of cardistry and pictures and stuff. So if you want to check me out, feel free to. That about wraps it up for this video. So hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial once again, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.